Good afternoon. My name is Teresa Isabel Olea Blanquisset. Task 5 materials. Listening materials, speaking materials. Listening styles for designing activities for online language environment to improve listening skills. Developed materials where sourcing English are used by means on video presentation where the studying is shown the type on song that they like the most. The student completes the space that the song is showing, do karaoke or perform personalized exercise with the song. Based on authentic audio and video files taking into account the level and the student, for example, use a short story using selected listening where the student is only going to listen to a small number of words that are in the story and say how many times the word is mentioned in the story. Development of materials from film, series, and comics in the cultural context of today's students, it is possible to arouse interest in understanding the language. Develop materials that contain videos with subtitles so that the student listen to it without looking at the text. Listening to the video, a guide in child everything is transcribed, compare the note with the available subtitle or transcript to see if there was any when transcribed and learn grammar. Listening times for the listening activities for face-to-face settings. Develop offended listening and pronunciation exercise engine practice that contain images of a student favorite singer. For example, that the audio link with the characters on the character. The student through the imaging and listening to the correct handword and pronounces it. Listen to podcasts. Allows you to choose the types of audio you want to listen to, sport, poems, stories, and choose the main source how that the student has allocated for this activity. Materials when listening comprehension exercise that the student visualize the sentence in English and the translation, listen to it several times and repeat in along with the audio. Oral recommendation for designing speaking activities for face-to-face setting speaking materials. Develop materials where the kind is using inspired and in groups, using animal names, objects, or famous characters. Each person will give the role to another player who will not be able to locate it. All the participants will place the piece of paper on their forehead so that the result the players can see what is written. In order, each player will have to ask the other question to guess what is written on their foreheads. Create the reading material to generate good ideas and specific vocabulary, phrases, and grammar before students begin the speaking activities. Question can be designing for the text that extract the ideas, concepts, and learnings to use a language that will be necessary for the discussion. Find someone who activities are a popular way to explain this natural information gap. For example, students are giving a working with questions such as find someone who he likes football, likes to exercise, likes to swim. Then they had to go around the class asking questions until they had found or one person for in question. Develop text that encourage students dividing class. For example, in next times of palette, you can choose a topic that generates a discussion where students have the opportunity to talk about the candidates, give their opinion with arguments. Recommendation for designing speaking activities for the language online to improve student communication. Develop speaking activities that require imagination. For example, a student can be asked to prepare an interview representing a celebrating, choosing him prior to do the activity. As the activity is online, they are giving a reasonable amount of time so that the student complete the script. Role plays in which students play various roles, both real and imaginary, consist on representing a situation with the purpose of making it real. The student takes a finished character and recreates it in his own way, taking on the role and the protagonist. Create material where the student is shared a number of products that they have to buy, for which they are obliged to exchange information. The student in the class might have different experiences, opinions, likes, and dislikes that they can share. Create materials that provide separate framework that enable students to move forward at the beginning of the learning process. Within a lesson that show growing wisdom the previous user. Thank you.